So my name is Chris Holtkamp. I'm an assistant professor of environmental planning at the University of Wisconsin River Falls in River Falls, Wisconsin.
So to you, what is geography?
To me, geography is about relationships and primarily the relationship between people and their environment. And so when we think about urban planning, right, cities are the kind of environment most people live in. And so urban planning is basically taking that idea of relationships between our environment and applying it to the built world.
How did geography assist you when you were an urban planner?
One thing it did was it certainly gave me that big picture perspective and looking at relationships across different factors, like I talked about a second ago. Also, obviously, GIS is a big part of urban planning. So having that technical skill of geographic information systems is important. And three, I think um, it gave me, that understanding of the physical environment, because obviously when we start to talk about cities, how they are built, where we build things is influenced by the physical environment. So things like floodplains and natural hazards and all of these uh, concepts of geography that we talk about influence how we build cities, where we build cities. And so we need to incorporate those ideas of the physical environment into how we design places to make them more sustainable, make them more resilient and less vulnerable to hazards, that kind of thing.
As a professor of geography,
Mhm.
how do you teach geography in a way to help your students succeed in their job?
I try very hard to make it practical. So what I try and do is as I'm teaching in class, I try and connect everything back to how they might use it in a job. And so everything is very practical and very hands-on. So I have students developing demographic analyses. So they're actually gathering data and understanding, how what that data means. If they look at the population of their hometown and they say, okay, my population is declining and people aren't very well educated and the population is aging, they can start to understand, well, what does that mean for your community, right? What are some challenges that those characteristics may create for you? So I try and make it very practical for them to understand, once you graduate and you get a job, this is what you're going to be doing, and what you're learning here directly connects to that.
Which courses then would you recommend a student to take if they wanted to become an urban planner?
Sure. I would obviously urban geography, if it's offered in your community or in your school, is a fundamental one. It gives you kind of that theoretical idea of how cities developed, why they developed the way they do, why they look the way they do. A lot of geography programs, even if they don't have a planning, actual planning component, will offer things like transportation geography, and so that would be important. Um, Certainly, any kind of natural hazards course you could take, because natural hazards have an enormous impact on cities and how people live. Economic geography is important to understand, again, how the economy works and how the environment affects the economy and how those things are related. Those are certainly, if you don't have like planning specific courses, those are ones that would certainly be useful for an aspiring urban planner.
Thank you so much, Chris. And
Sure.
that is a wrap on that.